Alright, it's day 233 off the grid and I'm at Mavtech up by the transmitter again, and as you can see I've installed this rather noisy car fan. A car fan was the only thing I could purchase yesterday because it's not really summer yet. Well, it's not even spring, is it? So no shops have stocks of fans, and I thought maybe a fan heater that I could just use the fan mode on, but well, since it's getting close to the end of winter, they've pretty much just sold out all their blimmin' heaters. So I went to Super Cheap Auto and bought this little auto fan. It's 12 volts, so obviously I needed a 12 volt power supply, which surprisingly was quite tricky around here, but in the end I settled on this old Philips, well, it says it's a video capsule adapter, and what it really is a battery charger where you can insert the video camera's batteries in there, and you'd also be able to plug this into the video tape or video cassette recorder that you'd use with your camera in order to use it like a normal VCR, I guess. Well, it doesn't have a tuner, but it would power it, you know. I don't know which camera it belongs to, but I haven't done any super permanent connections. I've just done the old twisty fucks there, you know, twisted it onto the basically DC jack, using some, I think that's film splicing tape that I found, because I forgot to bring all my tools with me today. No soldering iron, no multimeter, but I managed to use an old vintage, really vintage, ancient meter to measure the voltage to make sure this was working, and also the voltage of another power supply I tried first, which turned out to be AC. Should we show the meter? Why not? Why not? Okay, it's a pretty cool meter. Here we are, Mavtech, my workbench, messy as usual, just like everything I do. This is the meter. It actually works surprisingly well. I haven't tried ohms yet. If there's a battery in there, it's probably long since corroded, but it reads AC and DC volts perfectly fine. No test leads, so I just jack that on as you do, but got me through. Those were my wire cutters today, but nevertheless, there we are. Now this is working well though. This is working really well. Like just in the past quarter of an hour that I've had this fan on here, this top is only just lukewarm. The heatsink's still hot. And by the way, if you watch my other video, I might have given the impression that these were the output transistors. They are not. They are just they are basically the regulating transistors for the power supply, which I figured out when I looked at the wiring a bit more closely when I was wiring the cap. The actual transmitting transistors are on that little board that's over this side, on the all that little coppery stuff. They're in there somewhere. But anyway, nevertheless, this is working so well, I'm going to actually wind up the transmitter back to the full 200 watts. So let's watch that, eh? There we go, tweaking it up. Just tweaking it up by increasing the power output of the exciter. Of course it drives the linear harder. There we go. So I'll check that before we go, which we're in the packing up mode now, because again we're running late. I've got Amon with me here today, and he's had a ball looking at all the needles, all the needles down in the studio and stuff. He's been having a really good time with that, so that's cool. Yeah, no, that it will get warmer at 200, but what have we got? That's our voltage, 50 volts on the drain. I guess the MOSFETs, apparently really expensive MOSFETs too. And our drain amps, well, we were sitting at 6 at 150, now we're up at 7, so you know, that's the difference. That is the difference. But we're sitting at 200 watties there, so that's all good. Did I say watties? Did I say watties? Watties? But anyway, bloody noisy fan. I don't think this will last very long. I mean, being a brushed motor and stuff, but it's the only thing I can get at the time, and it'll do until we get something better. But this, I think, is the idea of having just a fan playing air on this thing. I think it's all we're actually going to need. So that's really good. No complicated ducting, no crazy water cooling that I was considering. Just a simple fan, and there we go. And that's day 233. I may do a little shot in the studio, or I may not, so I'll just leave it here then for now. Say hello, Amon.
Hello.
Well, I said I'd stop filming, but I have to start filming again, because while I was up there making that video, Amon was just here. And look what he's done. He used those scissors The ones I used to strip the wire, and he's managed to pretty much strip the wire. He's actually managed to get both conductors stripped. Yeah, they're mushed together, but he hasn't cut too many strands. That was a pretty good effort for your first wire strip.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good effort indeed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Amon stripped his first piece of wire. Amon knows the signal path through the radio gear too. Maybe we'll have to get him to point that out as well. So there we go. He just did that by himself. That is pretty fucking awesome.
But where's the bit that I cut off?
Oh, that fell into the rubbish bin while I was filming it. But somewhere. I'll stop filming now. You can fish that out. Okay, the final installment of this day, was it 233 off the grid? At 233. Well, nothing really has changed in here. I haven't done any more wiring in here. I did install a couple of little software packages to be able to handle files and stuff better on the computer, but I've mainly spent today putting music on here from my CD collection and stuff. So it's going to be a very eclectic radio station indeed. You know, something a bit for everyone. Obviously nothing like brutal death metal and stuff, you know, that is a bit too far beyond, you know, but stuff that is a bit heavier and stuff that's a bit poppier and stuff that's a bit more, well, we got some classical and stuff. It's all loaded on here, ready to play out now, and it's made up some rules to how it plays out, and it's working, and we're on air now basically 24/7. You can tune in at midnight for the Doggo shift. Currently, you can hear a selection of Beltane tracks entitled Beltane for Dave on the Doggo shift at midnight. But yeah, that's it basically. She's all going, really. What I did before with the fan and the transmitter, yeah, at 200 watts, it's still keeping nice and, well, I wouldn't say cool, but it's only lukewarm, you know, it's not running overwarmed now, it's good. And yeah, so we're just in the final throes of packing up. As you can see, the time is blooming late. And that's basically it. We're going home, and yeah, so that's a day at the museum, eh? A busy one. How about I listen to this on the way home in the car and see if the signal's improved with A, cranking the transmitter up 50 watts, and B, playing these sort of hotter tracks than I've been, you know, because I've been testing the range and stuff using what Guy's show, and, you know, just playing sort of old 20s and 30s whatnot music, and, you know, that stuff has got too many dynamics and not enough sort of punch, you know what I mean? It's not, you know, pegged on the end of the scale. Well, I think pegged on the end of the scale will help you transmit a bit further, because after all, that's what ham radio operators do to increase their talk power. They compress their voice. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble about technical stuff. But then again, my off-the-grid blog/vlog is a technical blog, so what the fuck? Anyway, we'll go now, and see you later.